Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? Average Player here. Told you Salamangreat deck profile is coming. This is my second time recording it. Mom interrupted the first one. Not deck profile, combo tutorial. Shall I change it and say what I'm supposed to say? So, random shuffle. If we don't get into the combo that I really mainly want to show, then we're going to get in. Then I'm going to just pull it out. We're going to do a couple test hands, and then if we don't get to the combo that I want to show, then I'm going to show it off. So, alright, start off, sign up my names, Sanctuary, Droll, Foxy, Nib. Alright, so this is actually going to show off the combo that I want to show. So, it's unfortunate we do the Sanctuary. Droll and Lockbird's good, because this is going first hand. So, ultimately, instead of dumping Foxy to the graveyard, which you can use her later, which you can sign up mining, dump Foxy, all that other stuff, but you also have to have use Foxy. You'd also have to get lucky enough to get another Salamangreat card in your hand. So we're going to normal summon Foxy here. Activate 3 cards of your deck, add a Salamangreat card, and this is where it works perfectly. Lucky Excavate, so you add the Spinny in your hand in this case. And because we don't want that roar. If we drew it, it'd be even better. Roar in place of that Sanctuary would be really good. So now we're gonna activate Sign It Mining. No, actually we wanna. No, we're gonna link away Foxy first into the Banelinks. And since we don't have the target because it's in our hand of Sanctuary, we're gonna activate Sanctuary right away. And now we're gonna activate Sign It Mining, dumping the Spinny. And you're gonna go ahead and add your Gazelle wherever it is in this deck. Gazelle, and because in the same chain, Gazelle special summons itself. And now Gazelle's effect will activate to dump a Salamangreat spell or trap. From your deck to the graveyard. So in this case, we're not gonna dump the Roar. We're gonna dump the Circle. And there's a reason behind it. Alright, because you already have the Spinny in your graveyard, so you're set to start making a little bit more combo and get pieces and get cards back to your hand. So here we're gonna link these two away for the Sunlight Wolf, and then you're gonna link Sunlight Wolf for Sunlight Wolf, Sunlight Wolf's effect. Add the Circle back to your hand. Another thing you could have done, one thing you could have done as well, you could have added this Circle back to your hand. You could use this Circle and or you could use Falco. You could have summoned Falco off from Rush Dalio and set your Circle straight to your field because you're just gonna ultimately set it anyway. That's one thing. But here we're gonna do, you can use we're actually not gonna summon out some Spinny. We're just gonna set the Circle face down. Now we got this in our hand. We're gonna pass. Now when your opponent's turn happens, draw phase, standby phase, you're gonna activate your Circle. Activate the second effect, make him unaffected by spell or trap, or unaffected by card effects, monster effects, right? Yep, unaffected by monster effects. So you have Nibiru and Droll. Alright, generally you want to set up the Sunlight Wolf underneath the Transcode Talker, so he can't be targeted by card effects as well. If your opponent summons more than 5 cards, you're going to Nibiru, which your Sunlight Wolf stays on the field, and it clears their whole board. And then you'd summon Nibiru underneath Sunlight Wolf's zone, and you get to add back your Gazelle, or whatever you want. So this is the combo I wanted to show you guys. Generally it would be a Transcode underneath Sunlight Wolf, but you want to get the effect of Nibiru off, or you want to get the effect of Sunlight Wolf off with Nibiru going to its zone. So we got actually that lucky top deck there. Every time I play in tournament though, I never really get this hand. I get the full combo, try to OTK your opponent without access code type of hand, so yeah, that's always fun. Alright, now hand number 2. Go ahead and shuffle. Let's hope we don't get in the beer this time. If we get in the beer this time, I'm going to put it back into the deck and just draw another card. Alright, then cut. Got Unlucky Sanctuary again. Spinny and Sea Kyver with Will, so we can actually do this without a normal summon. So we're going to go ahead and activate Will. We're going to special summon the Spinny from our hand using Will's effect. We're going to link Spinny away for the Balinks. Balinks effect activates. Oh wait, you can't because the Sanctuary's in your hand. Activate Sanctuary. Use Spinny effect engrave, special summon itself. And then Sea Archiver, special summon itself because the Balinks was there. Even though you won't be able to get out of transcode and use its effect because when you XC summon here into Mirage Stalio, you get locked in the fires. So you can use Mirage Stalio, detach Spinny, and special summon a card from your deck. Which is going to be, unfortunately, if we are able to get we can get Gazelle and dump the Jaguar to our graveyard to be able to make a little bit more plays. Like I said, you get locked into fire effects, so getting Jaguar into your graveyard is probably one of the main things you want to do, but unfortunately you don't have access to another level 4. And since you can't add a card from your deck to your hand until you're able to get into, not deck to your hand or anything from your graveyard to your hand or whatever until you get the Sunlight Wolf. So yeah, we can special summon Jaguar. Let's just do that. Alright, we already used Spinny's effects, can special summon him from the graveyard. So now we're gonna link away Jaguar and Balinks for the Sunlight Wolf. And there's no need to go into another Sunlight Wolf because we don't have anything to use for it. So we're going to use Jaguar, return the Spinny to the extra deck. Not the extra deck, the main deck. Special summons itself here. You're not using Sunlight Wolf's effect. Here, basically, you want to just try to keep a board presence. Sunlight Wolf, generally, if you have more cards in your graveyard, you can add it to, a card from your deck to hand. If you're going second, Mirage Stalio, you link that away to get rid of one of your opponent's cards. Here, though, because we are going for board presence, here we're going to get rid of the Mirage Stalio and the Sunlight Wolf to go into link 3 of Heatleo. It'd say you were breaking your opponent's board, you'd still have the Jaguar and that Sunlight Wolf, and you go into Heatleo, and then link Heatleo for another Heatleo to make your opponent's monsters attack 0, just so you can swing more. The reason why you put Heatleo up here instead of a Sunlight Wolf, it doesn't really matter, just Heatleo has more attacks, so the chance of your opponent beating over it is really small. And then you got a Drone Lockbird. You could have gone ahead off the Mirage Stallion, special summon Gazelle, and then dump a card and go to Sunlight Wolf for Sunlight Wolf and have a Roar. That's another option you could have done, but going first in this deck, you kind of just want to play, you know, little cards as possible, and then hope second turn you can actually do something. Keeping cards like Sea Archiver in your grave, and if Jaguar went back to your grave, which is amazing, because here, because Sea Archiver was sent to the graveyard as a material Mirage Stalio, it can be used again. Which here, because you were locked in the fires, you can go back in, you can make your link 2. If you had access code, you make your link 2, go and update Jammer, link to Helio, and update Jammer away on your next turn. Make access code with 3 that swings twice, and that'd basically be game. Alright, now one more test hand. Probably that second combo probably wasn't the best showing. On my head, I was going for something different, but there's that. So we're actually going to do like a going second hand, to where we get to draw and act like we're playing through no interruptions. But we're sending our opponent's cards to the graveyard. So we're going to try to get out, you know, our pops and stuff like that. So stuff like cards like Foxy here is going to be amazing. Heatleo could be good, or we can go into Borload, try to get the 2 attacks off. If we had access code, obviously you go access code instead, because access code requires less materials than Borload and way more powerful. So just shuffle and cut. Ignore the dogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. Okay. This is a brick, but it's also nice. Your normal summon Flame Buffalo here. You're going to link Flame Buffalo away from Balinks. You're going to chain 2 Buffalo, chain 1 Balinks. So your opponent now has to respond to the Buffalo first, because you're going to get your added to your hand anyway. So you get discard Spinny. Draw 2 more cards. And then add Sanctuary, and now Gazelle's effect will activate. I forgot to draw the extra card. Oh well. So this is going to be going first hand then. Now Gazelle's effect will activate Special Summon itself, and you're going to dump a card from your deck to the graveyard. In this case, it will be Roar because you already have the circle in your hand. We really don't probably need to activate Circle here to do the full combo. So I'm going to activate Sanctuary. We did use a normal Summon Flame Buffalo, which is fine. And we could activate... Yeah, we're going to do that. We activate Circle. We're going to do it because we don't have Nibiru in our hand. So Circle, we're going to activate. Here you're going to add Foul. The reason being is because it allows you to extend your plays a little bit more. It gets you another level 4 on the field. And all that fun jazz. So you're going to go ahead and special summon Sunlight or Spinny from your graveyard. XC summon. Mirage Stalio. Mirage Stalio special summon. You're going to special summon Foul from your hand. And you're going to detach material. From Mirage Stalio, here's where you're going to special summon Jack Jaguar. And now you have your 2 level 4s, but you can extend your plays. You can go a little bit farther. You can go into the Sunlight Wolf, link himself away again. Which what we're going to do. Like I said, we're going to act like we're breaking our opponent's board. So we're going to go Mirage Stalio and Baylinks to link into Sunlight Wolf. And you're going to link Sunlight Wolf into Sunlight Wolf. Sunlight Wolf's effect activates to add the Roar back to your hand. In any other case, we'd add the Circle back if we had Nibiru, which is we don't, so that's fine. I'm going to set the Roar, and what makes this a little bit more degenerate, if we had hand traps, we just XC summon like this here into Bagutska. The reason why you do Bagutska, because even though we only have access to fire effects, Bagutska's effect doesn't activate, it's a lingering effect. So when you summon Bagutska, just any card that's put in attack position, just switch to defense position, its effect's negated. So like immediately, like Lady Debug, when it's summoned, it's automatically switched to defense position, its effect's negated. Well, it's in defense position, it's activated effects. So it shuts down most decks like this. Now Sunlight Wolf's effect will activate. And you add Gazelle back to your hand. And that's basically it. You're going to pass here. Your opponent doesn't know what you have in your hand, but Bagutska is basically going to be the lockout for your opponent. And you have the Omni Negate, which is good. If these 3 cards... or if these 2 cards when we opened up our hand were any hand trap, Ash Blossom, or Droll and Lockbird, your opponent would literally be stuck. Because when you have that 1 interruption with Ash Blossom, it generally locks your opponent out, and it generally makes your opponent have to play through an Ash, which is already difficult for some decks. And then having to deal with an Omni Negate as well, it just basically shuts them off. Alright, what about... Alright. So, to respond to somebody's comment, you should play 2 Parallel Exceed. Which, you know, it also... because that gives you a little bit more access to your Bagutska and your level 4s, or your rank 4s. And you would cut down 1 Lady Debug to play another Foxy. It would give you a little bit more of a Salamangreat consistency. But if you notice, out of all of our hands, we have gotten a lot of Salamangreat cards / monsters. So this deck is good. If you want the extra ability to go into your level 4s, you do that. When you get in another Exceed, though, you're probably going to take out Backup Secretary or Sea Archiver. And so yeah. Alright, this time we're not even going to do a combo. We're just going to see what we draw. And see if it's a good hand or not. So there's our hand trap. Or Negate, Fall, Jack Jaguar, Spinny. Which would be... this is actually not a very good hand. Because, I mean, you can summon Jack Jaguar, discard Spinny, and do that. This would be more of a card to make sure if you can go second, which Imperm is okay. If we didn't draw the Roar here, the hand would be a little bit better. If we didn't draw Falco, our hand would be a lot better. So anyway, this deck is hyper consistent, even with stuff like this. Even if you went first here, you can still go ahead. You have an Ash and you got a negate. Even though you won't be able to summon out your Gazelle and be able to set, I don't know, a Rage or something like that. Here you know. Actually, we're just gonna do this combo. We're gonna normal summon Jack Jaguar. Link it away for Balinks. Balinks is going to go ahead and add your Sanctuary. I'm going to discard Spinny with its effect. Get Sanctuary out. Special summon Spinny using its own effect. Link these two away for Sunlight Wolf. And that's basically going to be it. And then you got your two hand traps. Sunlight Wolf is going to be good for whatever. You don't need to discard a card for anything, so Falco's basically a dead card in your hand. If you draw against Spinny, whatever. If your opponent can play through the Ash and then the Roar, most decks can, you're probably dead. But, you know, generally the deck is hyper consistent. It's more of a deck that if you can go first, and you know that the deck that you're playing against can struggle against a couple negations, and being able to not be able to play through hand traps, then going first is great. Because if you have a whole bunch of hand traps and you have that Omni Negate on your field, so you open up a Roar and... Actually, so you open up Imperm, Roar. I'm going to look for a nicer copy of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom. And then... say... Spinny. And Sign of Mining. Alright, let's do this theoretical hand, and then we're going to end the video. So here is great, because you got two hand traps and the Roar. And you'd also be able to get out of Rage. So here you're going to activate Sign of Mining, sending your Spinny to the graveyard. And go ahead and get access to your Gazelle. Gazelle's going to special summon itself in the same chain. It's going to go ahead. You generally could jump Rage to get 2 interruptions, which we're going to go based off of interruptions here. Yeah, we're going to go based off of interruptions here. So we're going to go ahead and send the Rage to the graveyard. Rage is a good card, allows you to pop cards. You can pop up to 2, sometimes 3. But here we won't be able to get the 3 because we won't be able to get Heat Leo out. So, we're going to link away Gazelle. Balinks add the Sanctuary. Typical Salamangreat stuff. This is what I'm showing you. Theoretical hand. The chance of getting this hand is pretty small. But this is basically like GG hand. Activate your Sanctuary. You're going to special summon your Spinny out. Link him away. Spinny's banished. Sunlight Wolf. And then you link Sunlight Wolf for the second Sunlight Wolf. That's going to add the Rage back to your hand. And this is where you're golden. Rage now allows you to pop 2 cards because of Sunlight Wolf. The Roar allows you to have an Omni Negate, and the Impermanence is another Monster Negate, and negates a spell and trap card in a column. So this is what your face downs are going to look like. And this is your hand, which can be Ash Blossom in your hand, and these cards are going to be face down on the field. So, and say that's your theoretical hand, that would be insane nuts. You're probably going to win this round. Your opponent, if they play through the Ash Blossom, the Omni Negate, and the Imperm, they're probably not going to be able to play through 2 of their cards getting popped as well. If you think about it, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interruptions. Crazy. So, alright. If you like the video, comment, like, subscribe. There's going to be more videos coming out like this. And as a reminder, when my one video got 20 likes, which was the Phantom Knight combo, I said that I was going to try to bring you guys the locals, but that guy said that he doesn't want me to record there, so I have to respect his wishes. I will be heading out to New York City here in a few weeks. We'll be going to this magazine shop up there on the 13th. I think it is. It's on the Monday the 11th. We're gonna be heading up there. If any of you guys are gonna be there, awesome. I'd love to play against you guys. I'm gonna tell you I'm playing Salamangreat. So hope you have a great day. See you.